Ah, a little dead insect never hurt you.
Hey, like the lady who was at a restaurant the other night. It was a ladybug in Chris Gordon's dinner, and he said to complain, and she said, "It's only a ladybug." If it had been a tarantula, it's a different story.
Everybody will want one. Keep quiet.
Right. I didn't mention the restaurant, did I? I got enough lawsuits. Okay. Bullets, of course, we're going to talk about that.
Why? You talked about them last night.
I know.
Let's talk about something else tonight.
No, let's talk about the Bullets. Let's talk about them. Okay, they came from 15 back last night and went on to defeat the Seattle Supersonics in overtime, 120-116, and even their best-of-7 series at 2 games each. Logically, you would have to think that whoever wins Game 5 Friday would probably wind up winning this series. If the Bullets win, they would be on top 3-2 and be heading home for Game 6 Sunday at the Cap Center. If Seattle wins, then they could afford to lose Sunday and still force a 7th game Wednesday back at their place. Logically, that's what should happen. But logic and Joe Pace are 2 things we haven't seen much of in this series. I gotta be honest with you. As I watched the first 3 quarters of the game last night, I thought the only thing that could save the Bullets was a power failure. They weren't hustling, they weren't playing defense, and the guards couldn't hit the floor with their jumpers. Just over 2.5 minutes left in the 3rd period, they were down 85-70, and Seattle showed no signs of slowing down. But then Charlie Johnson and Bobby Danbridge started popping from the outside in the closing seconds of the period, and by the time the buzzer sounded, it was a ball game again. The Bullets made their move early in the 4th period. Johnson brings them within 5 here at 91-86. Larry Wright's 3-point play right there cuts it to 495-91. Then watch the hustle on Mitch Kupchak right here. Flips to Danbridge, who brings them within 2, 97-95. Larry Wright then ties the game at 97. Big jumper right there. Then Mitch comes back with another big bucket to tie the game at 101. This guy was an inspiration in the 2nd half. He kept them close all night. Then Elvin Hayes gives the Bullets a 2-point lead, 103-101. With 20 seconds left in regulation, Danbridge scores, is fouled, and makes the free throw to make it 106-104 Bullets. With 14 seconds left, Freddie Brown from the corner to tie the game. Now the Bullets have one more shot. Danbridge takes it. Give him credit for not being afraid to take the shot. We didn't have much choice. Dennis Johnson blocks it and sends the game into overtime. And that's when the Bullets guards really took charge. CJ puts them up by 4, 112-108. With it right there. Then Tommy Henderson hits a big jumper to keep the lead at 4, 114-110. John Johnson cut it to 2 with 40 seconds left. This series is leading the league in Johnsons, by the way. With 25 seconds left in overtime, Greg Ballard, who had spent most of the game watching, come in and hit 2 big free throws to put the Bullets back up by 4, 116-112. Seattle cut the lead to 2, and Henderson stepped to the line with 13 seconds left, made 2 more free throws to pull the Bullets back up by 4 again, and effectively put the game away. Now, Don Shane is in Seattle, and he'll be there all this week sending back reports. After last night's game, Don talked with Dick Motta and several of the players about what they felt were the keys to the win.
They did just about what they wanted the first 3 quarters. I thought they were playing extremely well. They were playing loose. They're playing with a great deal of confidence. They're still in the driver's seat. We're fully aware of that. If the Bullets play, and I've maintained this from day one, we're difficult to beat. I respect the Seattle team. They're not going to give us anything, and I think that we've got to play the whole game like we did the 4th quarter this evening.
The easy way out would be to give up and say, well, they're 15 ahead. Let's wait for the next game. But if we waited for the next game, we'd be down 3-1. So we just had to dig deep, and I thought we did. Probably. This is the most minutes I've played in a playoff game, even if it hadn't gone into overtime. So I just thought we just showed a lot of poise and showed how we got here to the finals.
We just played. Their team is oriented to guard scoring, and we have to work exceptionally hard on the defensive end to compensate for that. Our job is to try to contain their guards, and their guards brought them here to the finals, and I figure they'll live and die with their guards, and our big men have basically brought us to the finals because they played so well, Bobby D and Elvin Hayes, and so it's just a basketball thing, that a conglomeration of things that happen, and tonight we're in over.
Well, he just stops right in the middle of a sentence.
How'd you arrange that?
He makes
That's
his
clever.
point, and that's it. He's done. We had a technical problem. As you know.
Was it that one?
Yeah, a little technical thing. We had, we'll see that at 11 o'clock. We'll bring it back to you. We have Lenny Wilkins, who's depressed about the loss, and Kevin Greavy and Kupchak. Okay, as you know, last night's game was played in the Kingdome because of a scheduling conflict at the Sonics' regular home court. Over 39,000 fans, an NBA record for a championship series, watched the game. Don Shane reports tonight that the bulk of the crowd had a better view of the moon than the floor.
The official attendance, 39,457. It's the largest crowd ever to see an NBA playoff game. Of course, this is the home of the Seahawks of the National Football League and the Baseball Mariners. Next year, the Sonics will play all their games here. Now, most of the seats aren't bad. Here's what the view looks like from about midcourt, say 20 rows deep. And here's what it looks like from the end zone or from behind the basket. And now from the upper deck area. Really not too bad. But you've really got to be into the sonic boom thing to go any higher. I'm now sitting in the distant viewing section. If you paid $3 to sit here, you better have good eyesight, a good pair of binoculars, or a portable television set, because this is the view you get. Are those the bullets down there? Do you think this is a good place to watch a basketball game from?
It's not bad.
Isn't your living room a little better on television where you're right courtside?
Yeah, but it isn't the thrill of sitting here with the people and being right with the Sonics watching them play.
I would come anywhere. It wouldn't matter if I was on the very last seat up here. I mean, I'm close to it, but if I was up there, I would come all the way because they're my favorite team and I'm faithful. And what can I say? I'm here, so I feel like I'm right down there on the floor with them. I'm happy here.
Well, the second half started, and I'm still waiting for the Bullet Guards to score. The only problem is if they did, I probably wouldn't know it from up here. I think I've had enough of the distant viewing section for one night. I'm going to go back downstairs and watch the rest of the game.
We just got word Don's made it down to the floor this afternoon. He called from Seattle, said he finally got back down.
Trip. Actually, the camera's eye is better than the spectator's eye. I noticed they zoomed in there. The spectators can't see it that well.
That's the only game that's going to be played there, although they say next year they're going to play all their games there, which I'm sure they'll improve it. They'll get more seating around the court, but that's the only game in this series. It goes back to the Coliseum Friday night.
They can sell more tickets.
Yeah, sure, and then you can always buy a paper and read about the game. It's the best thing.
Bring a little TV set with you. It's nice.
When we come back, Gordon Barnes takes a look at our forecast for the rest of the week. Stay with us.
Out for the Bullets, but they have to feel very, very happy right now. They're trailing by only 8 points. Again, I brought it up many times before, but it's the same as the first ball game. They shot 37% for the first half as opposed to 56% for the Sonics, and yet they're still within striking distance. There's a long way to go in this basketball game, and I've seen too many strange things happen.
Rick, Hondo made an interesting observation about Bobby Dandridge possibly switching to the backcourt. Do you think Mata might make that adjustment, John, or would that be a desperate move?
It would be a desperate move, and it would definitely be a sign that they are in trouble in the backcourt. But an interesting thing is, in the last, I believe, 10 years, the team that has won the third game, with the exception of 1976 when we played the Phoenix Suns, has gone on to win the championship. So right now, Seattle's in the driver's seat, and certainly they continue to play the way they have the first half and win this ball game. They really have it going in the Coliseum next Friday.
Well, you know, when the original format was made against you, Rick, when you had to play the one game, Washington was looking forward to that situation. Now, it worked entirely against them, of course, because they were blown out in 75. But here it went the other way, and Seattle's really got the upper hand with that break.
Yes, that's exactly true, because if you could win that first ball game at home, you really have established yourself. You got to win. You put all the pressure squarely on the other team. They must win those 2 ball games back at their place. Washington was not able to do it. In our series, of course, we won the first ball game back there in Washington, so it backfired on them, but it's worked extremely well here for Seattle.
Okay, we are just about ready now to start the second half.